All right, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday. We are live, live, live. How you guys feeling this Saturday, man? I'm feeling great, man. I'm ready to talk about today's topic, man. I love doing these live streams to kind of show you guys that there's more to travel than just entertainment and edited videos. I show you guys how to do it the right way, right? So I've been a solo traveler for the past, I want to say like 4 to 5, 6 years maybe. And I've learned a ton of things from doing my solo travels over the years. And I wanted to kind of go over a few things with you guys, like a list that I have here on the side of the screen. So you'll see me like look over a lot because I'm going through the list just to keep the live stream kind of succinct and as informational as possible without like going off into a tangent. So yeah, we have it all here, guys. It's we're talking about how to do solo travel the right way, right? So solo travel 101. And we want to not keep you guys waiting. But if this is your first time here on the channel, my name is Jay. The channel is called Trippin with Jay, and we mainly do travel vlogs and I guess now live streams about how to travel the right way. So if you like that type of content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And the chats are open, at least on YouTube, where you can send super chats if you learned something from this or you gained some sauce from the live stream. So that is that. So if this is your first time here, welcome to the channel, man. Glad to have you. So the first thing that you really want to think about when you travel solo is why. Why do you want to travel solo? So typically, I can tell you my own personal selfish reasons to travel solo, but it kind of stems from having so many bad group trips, right? So when you travel with a group, you have to kind of cater to everybody's dietary restrictions, their activity levels, and just overall, like if one person doesn't want to do something on a group trip, that kind of spoils the entire activity. And even if they're forced to do that activity, it kind of brings that bad energy into that particular activity. So this kind of like pushes certain people to travel solo because they can do what they want to do. And that comes along with the freedom and flexibility of traveling solo, which is the primary reason why you want to do it. Sometimes, like, if you are like socially inept, so if you're not able to like talk to people the right way, you're not able to communicate with people that you don't know already, traveling solo kind of forces you into this zone to where you have to interact with people that are around you when you do travel. So say, for instance, you may meet some Americans abroad, and 9 times out of 10 Americans abroad are way better than Americans that are here in the US, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. But if you do happen to meet people abroad, you got to know how to communicate with them. You got to know how to speak to them. You have to have a certain cadence when you speak to people, right? So you have to, first of all, try to learn the language of where you're going. And we'll kind of go over, the next part is actually how to choose your destination. And a big component of that is the language. So say, for instance, you're going to England, they already speak English, same language, just different words for different stuff. Like the elevator is a lift and a crane is a lorry. I don't understand all of that stuff, but same language basically, right? So even if you go over there, you still have to interact with people and you know how to speak to them, and that's great, right? And you get to do whatever you want. So you get to go to visit certain places. You get to take a taxi cab while you're in England, chop it up, eat your tea and crumpets. You do all of that, right? But you have to go into it with a little bit more confidence because you are alone and you don't typically have that group of people that you want to hang around with, that you can actually interact with when you are traveling. So you want to build that confidence and just start conversations out of thin air. And I've done this plenty of times when I travel to places like England or London. I would just be at a coffee shop and just start a conversation with a group of like women out of nowhere, right? I'm not speaking to no dudes, so I'm going to talk to girls. So I'm going to just start off a conversation like, oh my gosh, the weather is so nice today. And it's sarcasm because London or England as a whole is always like gloomy and cloudy. I'm like, oh, the weather is so wonderful today, right? And you start off with that, and then you can kind of segue into other topics as well. So it's just having that confidence, man, to actually interact with people and make friends when you're doing a solo trip. I do that all the time, and I love it. I actually prefer to travel solo. A lot of people may have a fear of traveling solo because they may not have that necessary group support when they do travel. So they're like, oh, what am I going to do when I travel solo? Like, who's going to help me if I run into any trouble? And the thing is, it's all the importance of picking your destination properly. So you're not putting yourself in a situation where you're like in danger and you have to somehow get some type of emergency service. Like, no, just start off with a nice soft landing of a destination, even if it's your first time, right? So the second thing, right? The second bullet point that I have here is choosing the best solo destination. Some of the best solo destinations, in my opinion, I would say starting Europe. Starting Europe, or you could go to. I would say if you're from the U.S., right? So there's a big distinction between my viewers that may be not in the U.S., like outside of the U.S. But if you are from the U.S., I would highly recommend Mexico City in Mexico if you are traveling for the first time, because the first thing is a lot of people in Mexico City already speak English. So if you're not able to speak Spanish, or if you have very limited Spanish, you can actually make it through by just speaking English and trying to speak Spanish. They'll know exactly what you're talking about the majority of the time. However, if you don't want to go to Mexico, you think it's like a third world country or whatever, keep believing that, by the way, because it's actually nice to keep the people that don't want to go to those types of countries, keep them out. But I would say go to Europe, specifically go to London first if this is your first time traveling solo, because the language is the same, the culture is very similar, and you'll have an easier trip, right? When it comes to communicating, going out to eat, going out to nightclubs or whatever, bars, communicating with the staff there. It's just going to be a lot easier, a lot less friction as if you were to go to Mexico or Mexico City, because there's still people that don't speak English in Mexico City. When you, let's see, what's the next bullet point here? Ooh, I gotta mention safety, bro. Safety is paramount when you travel, especially when you travel solo. There have been times where I myself I've been going on trips where I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to have a second person with me, because I will be like walking at night somewhere, and it's kind of like it's kind of sketch, right? But you have to think that you can still defend yourself to a degree if you're in a foreign country. Let me make sure the camera's good here, guys. Okay, cool. Yeah, you have to kind of think about, like, are you able to defend yourself when you're abroad? So that always leads into you just being in shape, right? You being in decent shape. You ain't got to be like super muscular or anything, but in case worse, the S hits the fan, right? You got to be able to defend yourself if you happen to be abroad, even here at home. So research safe places to go. So I would say, oh man, London. I don't know if is London that safe nowadays, guys. I don't know. I know they don't have any arms, right? So they have like knives and stuff so they chef you up, right? In London. But be careful and research very safe destinations. I would recommend, let's see, Iceland. There's a list right here. So Japan was cool when I went there. Not a lot of English proficiency, obviously, but the safety of Southeast Asia in general is very, very high. So if you like the culture, you go to a specific city in a country that has a high proficiency of English. I would say go. So the countries listed here: Japan, Portugal, Thailand, and Iceland. So those are really good and safe countries to go. And some places you can avoid, bro. Ooh, places to avoid. I would say for sure don't go to Honduras, man. You can go to Roatan, which is an island on the east coast of Honduras that speaks English, is very safe, and just stay away from the mainland in Honduras. No, don't. Yeah, you can go to El Salvador. Is safe now because the president really did well with that country as far as managing it, and the safety there is like the best in Central America right now. So still go there. Places to avoid, bro. Man, just be very careful in Latin America in general. That's my advice. If you plan to go to Latin America for the first time solo, be very careful. Be careful with your drinks, right? Like cover your drinks or watch your drinks very carefully. And when I go to Latin America, most of the time I get beers, right? When I want to drink some alcohol, and I make sure that the waiter or the waitress actually opens up the bottle of beer in front of me, because some countries or some places in Latin America, they'll give you fake liquor or have liquor laced with something and give that to you. And they'll be like, oh, here's your drink, sir. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I didn't see you pour it. I don't know what's in it. So I just play it safe. The majority of the time, I just go get beer, or I get a pre-packaged alcoholic drink, right? Just to keep myself safe, man, because it only takes one drink that's spiked with scope or something else to have you not have a good trip, because you're traveling solo. You have no idea what's going on. So it's always best to keep safe. So the third bullet point that I have here is just planning and budgeting for your solo travel. So if stuff hits the fan and you run out of money when you're abroad, that's a bad time, bro. You gotta budget. You can go to these cheap countries or these affordable countries, run up a check, and you will be out of money so fast, bro. I promise you. So you have to be able to budget your finances. And I always suggest to people, if you're going to an affordable country, try to budget about $100 to $150 per day USD. And if you are going to a much more expensive country, I would say $200 to $250, right, per day. Because if you're spending $250 or more than $250 on yourself in a single day, whether that's on food, activities, you're probably doing too much, bro. You're probably doing too much. Let's see. Oh, okay. The next one is packing. Packing is super important because you're going to need like emergency stuff when you travel alone, especially when you are like off the beaten path and you are away from like electricity. You're going to need like a portable charger, some emergency cash just in case you run out of cash and there's no ATM, because a lot of places around the world, man, they don't have like available ATMs in a lot of these places around the world. You'll be surprised, like on these very remote islands, they won't have ATMs, bro. You will only be with cash. There's still a lot of cash societies on this planet. So carry some emergency cash. Also pack light as well. Don't overpack, because if you know you're going to a tropical location, don't pack a whole bunch of like thick pants or jackets or what have you. Just pack something light, bro. Just pack a few shirts, a few t-shirts, and maybe like a couple of going out outfits. Just make sure that you're packing very, very light. And you want to keep those belongings safe when you travel. So you want to get a bag that has those TSA locks that you guys see. I'll see if I can pull it up. But the TSA locks, they give you another layer of security of your belongings when you travel abroad. Even though they're very easy to defeat, but it just provides an extra layer of security. So let me see, TSA lock here, and the chats are open, guys. Like, let me know, man, in the chat if you guys got any questions about traveling solo, or if you guys have any concerns, because I know that I myself, I'm in a privileged position to where I don't have to really worry about traveling solo. I'm used to it, but there may be a few of you out there that may have some fears or some concerns about traveling solo. And let me know. I'm here to answer those questions, answer those concerns for you guys, because it's super important that you guys be able to be comfortable traveling alone, because there's going to be a location or a destination where everybody doesn't want to go, right? So here are the locks here, the TSA locks you can use for your baggage, or you can buy baggage that already has it pre-installed, but they also sell it separately on Amazon to where you can just loop this stuff around the zippers of your baggage. So you could just do this on an already existing bag that you have. And this is another layer of security for your stuff when it's just laying in the hotel room and you have a complete stranger cleaning your hotel room and they see your bag. And if it's open, bro, in some of these countries, they honestly make what we make in a day here in the US, they make that an entire month. And if they see like a rich tourist and their bag is unlocked, you think that temptation is not going to be there to like open the bag and see what's up in there? You tell me. So just keep your stuff safe when you travel abroad, especially doing solo travel. And this is one way to do it. I think, let me see how much these cost, bro. How much these locks cost? $13, bro. $13. Cheap. It's better than buying an entirely separate new luggage, right? So yeah, make sure you keep your stuff safe when you do travel, and that is one way to do it. Oh, okay. Let me get some coffee. Chats are open, guys. Let me know in the chat, man. We got like a few people in here. Come on, man. Also, like the video on the way in as well, man. Let's see. The next bullet point here is staying safe while traveling solo. I think we kind of discussed this a little bit earlier, but do your research, obviously. Look up crime statistics about a particular country or city, because depending on the country that you go to, it may be a vast difference between one city to another when it comes to safety. And one example I can think of is Brazil. Brazil has, of course, some very unsafe cities, but they also have some very, very safe cities. Like Recife in Brazil is quite safe. Rio, not so safe, right? So just do your research and pick your destination accordingly, because you do want to have like a little bit of a soft landing when you do travel solo for the first time. You don't want to be having that worry in the back of your mind about your safety. So you want to pick a safe destination that you can communicate easily with. So I'll leave that to you guys to do that research, and avoid scams, right? Scams exist because of people always falling for it, right? So if the scam didn't work, people wouldn't do the scam. So if the scam exists, that means it's working. You got to try your best to avoid scams. And the best way to alleviate that, or at least mitigate or reduce that, is to look up YouTube videos on that particular destination before you go, or before you even think about planning a trip there. Because I know that there are YouTube channels out there, I'll see if I can display it here, where they actually dedicate their entire channel to busting scams in their own country. So I think it's, if you guys have ever heard of this content creator called Honest Guide. So let me switch it. So this guy actually goes around in Prague, bro, and exposes scams and like confronts scammers, and damn near gets his butt beat sometimes, right? So let's see. So you can find YouTubers like this, guys, to kind of do your research on how to avoid scams and how not to like participate in a scam, because there are some really, really good scams out there. And this guy here at least goes over it in Prague. So I would assume that there are other YouTubers as well that are taking this formula and applying it to where they live or where they want to travel to. So this is a very, very good resource here. And again, his name is the name of the YouTube channel is called Honest Guide. So this may be a good resource, and or whatever equivalent is out there for the country that you want to visit. So that is recommended, to just do your research on any scams that or tourist traps that may exist. And you should honestly be able to tell where a tourist trap is, because there will be a place that there are a whole bunch of tourists, right? Maybe like a restaurant or an activity that's out and about where you see a whole bunch of tourists and you don't see a whole bunch of locals. So if you go to Japan, for instance, right, and you see a restaurant where there's nothing but tourists, that's when you turn around and say, we're getting the hell out of here. We're going somewhere else. We're going somewhere where I need some Japanese people in a place that is serving food, because that's probably an overpriced restaurant and it's a tourist trap if the locals don't go to it. That's going to be another indicator. So another point about safety when you travel abroad solo is just sharing your itinerary with your friends and your family just for some extra security. And this is crucial, especially in the planning stages, because you have to be able to plan your trip to a certain degree. So you are able to share those details with family and friends, so they know what you're doing, they know where you're at. So I would honestly just reach out to mom, dad, friends. Hey, I'm going to be doing this day. Here's my entire itinerary. Here's where I'm going to be staying at an Airbnb or hotel, and just let people know where you're at, right? That's the number one thing that may keep you from falling victim to certain, like a Taken situation, right? That's a way to kind of mitigate that type of thing. If you guys have ever seen the movie Taken, where the people get kidnapped or whatever, and yeah, you really want to let your friends and family know. Got a few more here. I think I want to skip over this one here. Ooh, this is a one that no one really talks about. I really haven't experienced this, to be honest with you guys. It's something called travel anxiety. Let me look up the actual definition of travel anxiety and loneliness when you travel. Because that does happen to some people, man. Some people have that they don't have the necessary social skills to actually go out there and meet people. So let me switch it over. Travel anxiety is a common experience characterized by feelings of fear, worry, and nervousness related to traveling. It can manifest as physical symptoms such as sweating, palpitations, and difficulty sleeping, as well as emotional distress. Fear of the unknown, unfamiliar environments, being away from home and support systems, past negative travel experiences, and other anxiety disorders. I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest with you. But for you guys that may experience this or may exhibit these types of things here as far as travel anxiety, some things to kind of keep in mind when you do travel solo is that this is a new experience. This is an opportunity for you to grow as a person, because if you can't travel alone and by yourself, you really have to get used to it, man, because you're not going to be able to travel with the group every single time you want to travel somewhere. Like, for instance, right now, I want to travel to Thailand, but a lot of my friends can't get the time off to go to Thailand with me, so I have to go solo. And you know what? When you travel solo, you got to make connections when you're abroad. And luckily for myself, I'm a content creator, so I can reach out to other content creators in Thailand that may live there already. And we can either do collabs or we can do just meetups and just kick it. But for my people that may not know anyone in that country, It's going to be difficult, man. But I'm not going to lie, but you just got to really stay mentally strong when you travel and know that is an experience for you to kind of grow as a human. Okay. So the next one's easy, navigating a new place by yourself. And do the usual stuff, man. Use Google Maps. Don't use Apple Maps. You can actually download an entire map of a city or a country in Google Maps offline, and then if you happen to be in a bad service area or you don't have international data coverage in another country, you can still use Google Maps to kind of get around. And Google Translate as well has a mode where you can download a language, so you can use it offline. It may not be the most accurate translation when you use it. However, it's much better than you trying to speak English slowly to someone that doesn't understand English at all. That's so crazy to me. I see videos of people trying to speak English slowly as if the other person can understand them. It's kind of crazy. So use Google Translate and Google Maps offline, and try to stay organized, right, when you travel, and don't feel overwhelmed, because a lot of people will go to a city that has a whole bunch going on and get overwhelmed with all the stuff, all the noise, all the distractions in the city. So keep it organized and just don't feel overwhelmed overall. Okay. Let's see. The next one, I kind of made this list like for me, kind of in a way, but if you guys ever want to become like an inspiring vlogger or YouTuber, documenting and sharing your solo travels. So for me, as a content creator, when I travel solo, it's to make content, right? So if you guys want to be a content creator or a YouTuber, the travel space is a good place to start. You have to really get good with telling stories and how to shoot A-roll and B-roll. And I went over this in detail in one of my past streams on how to become a content creator or travel YouTuber in 2025. So you guys may want to refer back to that video where I went into it in detail on how to do it the right way. But you guys can start your YouTube journey just doing travel, just what you already want to do. Like you can incorporate recording yourself, telling good stories, being entertaining. You may be already lit already, and you just may need to be captured on camera and put it on YouTube, and you just blow up. So yeah, you can do that, man. You can become a YouTuber just by traveling solo. A lot of people have done that, man. A lot of people. You'll see them on the channel as guests being interviewed in the future. The last thing I want to kind of discuss here is just embracing the solo travel lifestyle. You always have to think to yourself, like, why am I doing this? Why am I traveling solo? And to me personally, this may be different for you, but it's a chance to grow as a person, because life at the end of the day, you can have an infinite amount of money. You can have all the status, all the wealth, but at the end of the day, life is about people. And if you don't try to interact with people, meet people, get to know people, whether it's abroad or at home, man, life ain't worth it, bro. Life ain't worth it. Life is about people, and you got to be able to be okay with that. And once you start to honestly travel a lot more often by yourself, solo, it becomes low-key addictive, because you get the freedom to do whatever you want, bro. You can literally go eat hamburgers and cheeseburgers every day if you want to. And when you start to travel solo and you kind of feel that ability to do whatever you want, you're going to almost encourage other people to do the same thing. You're going to be like, yo, I traveled here and here by myself, and I had a great time. I went to Pattaya and have a great time in Thailand, right? So you got to keep that in mind, man. A lot of people are scared to travel solo, and I had no idea. I was like, wait a minute, bro. People have trouble going and traveling solo, especially abroad. No, man. That's actually one of the best ways to be exposed to new travel experiences, because you get to do what you want. You don't have to care if somebody's a vegan and you're in a meat eating country. Like you don't have to care about that. If you want to eat sushi in a Latin American country, go eat sushi, bro. Like, you get to do whatever you want. You don't have to hear anybody judge you or give you any bad vibes when you travel. You get to do whatever the hell you want, bro. And that's the best part, because I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. If I pay for a plane ticket, if I pay for the hotel room, if I pay for the Airbnb, I don't want to hear nothing about what I'm doing in a particular city or country. I'm doing what I want, right? So as we're wrapping up here, guys. So shoot your chats, man. Shoot your chats. And we got a few people in here. So I want you guys to answer this either in the live stream chat or in the comments after this live stream is over. So I want you guys to answer me. Would you ever travel solo? Why or why not? Right? Let me know in the comments below. Like, would you ever travel solo? And as we're wrapping up here, guys, let me know if you guys have any additional questions, want me to cover anything in detail, or did I miss anything? Like, for my people that have never traveled alone, what concerns, what fears do you have that I can try to help you with? Because this is just to help y'all out. I've already done solo travel. This is to help people that haven't done it yet and want to do it. So this is for your guys' benefit. So you guys let me know. Okay, we'll hang out for a second here, and y'all can see me drink a little bit of coffee, man. So also, man, let me know if you guys are liking these live streams on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, because they're more informational. And a lot of informational content on YouTube really doesn't get a lot of views. And I'm okay with that, because I know that if I can help at least one person either create their YouTube channel, become successful at making YouTube videos, traveling, if I can help someone that wants to do solo travel and has never done it before, if I can help someone travel affordably this year, it's all worth it if it helps out one single person, bro. I promise you. And yeah, this stuff is for you guys, man. I know all of this stuff already. I'm just putting all of this stuff that I've learned over the decades of traveling into a 30-minute live stream for you guys. And I'm here for y'all, man. Let me know in the chats if you guys have any additional questions. Man, I don't know if I'm getting sick. Am I getting sick? I'm not getting sick, chat. But we'll hang out here for like another, maybe like 30 seconds. If I don't get like a chat or anything, let me check Facebook, because we're live streaming on Facebook too. Shout out to my Facebook people. And don't forget to follow the socials as well, guys. Don't forget to follow the socials. We're on Instagram, TikTok, X, Twitter. Still trying to get my account back. No idea how I got banned. But eventually when I get unbanned, follow me on Twitter, bro. Ooh, that coffee's so good, man. All right, guys. About to wrap up. Any last minute things, man? Y'all let me know. We're just hanging out. All right. Let me do my outro. And that's going to be it. That's going to be the end of the stream, guys. So thank you guys for tuning in to the live stream. A short one, but very concise. And I think it was a good topic. And I got some great topics coming up for next week as well, including how to be universally attractive to foreign women abroad. And that's going to be one of the topics coming up next week. And I'm going to go step by step on how to be universally attractive. So no matter what country you go to, you can be attractive to those females. And I'm going to go step by step with you guys. And you got to do work, bro. You got to do work in order to become universally attractive. So that is it. My name is Jay. You've been tripping with Jay. And that was a live stream about how to travel solo for the first time if you've never done it before. And I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you tune in on this upcoming week. I got another vlog dropping on Monday, and I got a live stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you're not. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday. Thanks so much again.